Hello, Faith Leader, and welcome to Breaktime. Today we are in Psalm 17:5, and David says this: "My steps have held to your paths. My feet have not stumbled." My feet have not stumbled. David was rest assured that he was with God because he put God with him every day. You know, the psalm before that said God was at his right hand. God was before him. And so isn't it interesting? Have you ever been hiking? And it's one of my favorite things to do. And I often stumble. I mean, it doesn't take long to find myself stumbling because I'm not the most coordinated of people. But I enjoy doing it. And I enjoy what I see along the way. But here's what I find about real life. When you and I are living in real life, we go to work, most of us are very busy with our families. Most of us have, huge demands. Most of us, you know what your pathway of life looks like. Probably doesn't look a whole lot of difference for me. But do you ever find yourself stumbling over the same things that you've stumbled over before? And you try to learn, you get back up, you look at what makes you fall, and then you keep walking. And then I'll be darned if it doesn't happen again. You're stumbling over the same things that you've caused you to stumble before. But David got to this place where he knew the path to take, the path that wasn't going to make him stumble, and he went down it. The rocks were removed, the trip was removed, whatever, the branch laying in the middle of the road, it was gone. Because David chose to obey the commands that God had put across, and he knew that that was his pathway. Brothers and sisters, when we do that, when we choose to obey the commands that God puts before our path, we're not going to find ourselves stumbling every day. We're not going to find ourselves saying the same things or doing the same things or creating the same action. Do you want out of that? I do. But there's only one way out. And that's by obedience? Through allowing ourselves to align ourselves with what God is saying is true in our life. And anything that God is saying that's not the way to go, don't go. It sounds so simple. But here's what gets in the way is our flesh wants something that's contrary to what the pathway that God has for us. And it craves it to the place that it thinks it needs it. And then you find yourself stumbling. You find your pathway filled with pits. Let God direct the path ahead. His commands are not always easy. But here's what happens when we obey them. We're not going to fall. We're going to stay upright in a place where we're giving him glory. Those are the kind of consequences I want. My life filled with God's glory. How about you? Have a blessed day.